In this part of the tutorial, I'm just going to talk briefly about a security vulnerability that might be present in our IPN.php code. Now, as we know, we're passing this custom variable from our form that's found in index.php, and we're storing this in a variable called user ID. Now, this custom variable, as we saw it in action earlier on in the tutorial, was set to 1 because my user ID that existed in the database was in fact 1. So because this is a custom variable that can be edited by our users in our PayPal form, it will then be sent to PayPal and be sent back as exactly how it is. So we could, for example, inject some more SQL query into this to perform an SQL injection in our overall query. So how do we go about resolving this? Now, the first check that we're going to perform, or the first function that we're going to use to ensure that we escape any strings that might make up an SQL injection, is we're going to use the MySQL real escape string function, as we've used previously in the tutorial when we were logging our user in. So MySQL real escape string will just ensure that no special characters that might form an SQL injection are present in this custom variable, as we're passing the data to PayPal and then back again exactly how we specified it in the first place. Another thing to note is that this is always going to be a number. Because inside of our database this is stored as an integer, we want to keep this value as an integer. For example, we don't want to be passing letters or anything like that, or symbols. So what we simply do is, in brackets just before the variable here that we've taken from our post set of variables, we just need to type int here in brackets. So just int in brackets just before this variable here, and what that will do is it ensure that even if the data is not an integer, it will be converted to an integer upon receiving this. So there are two things that we need to take into account when passing this, especially because we're taking this user ID and actually using it inside one of our SQL queries.